So, right? So a lot of the old quote unquote Instagram models, your Alexis Skies and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
She's old now, they all?
Yes.
I mean,
how old is she?
She our age, but you know, to the young ones, tenderoni, she's old.
Alexis Sky is old?
She's old.
Damn.
Right? So
I like old women now.
Correct. Apparently so.
I always liked older women. So
I always liked older women, but I didn't think she
And now she's an old woman. Wow. She's an old Instagram girl is what they call her.
She can't keep up with the new girls.
She can't because she's phased out.
Okay.
But there's this topic.
You mean they just not rapping about her no more?
Yeah.
That's really odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I hit Alexis Sky,
well, they didn't all, and that's bringing us to the top. They've all hit it. That's the issue. Okay. So the controversial topic is these old Instagram models have framed sexual liberation as feminism. And now you have these everyday girls who can do the same thing that took you years to build a platform that got you nowhere. And I don't want to say nowhere. Some of these women have been able to be very successful, and some of them have been able to get to their max, which for them is, you know, being a Fashion Nova brand ambassador and whatnot, while some of the others were able to attract higher paying customers and grab the attention of people who would snatch them up and make the money. So now that's everyone's lifestyle. Everyone wants that.
Basically what you're trying to say,
and now you're being taught it's wrong.
They don't have to escort.
Now they're what?
Now it's wrong. It's wrong to be a city girl.
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon to do all of these things to get people, because now you have like ladies like Alexis Sky saying it wasn't worth it. You have your Brittany Renner saying, I wish that I could take back all the men I slept with.
She shocked me. I thought she was going to be a 304 forever.
What is a 304? I'm dead.
Type it on your phone and tell me what
it's
Lord Jesus, Nubia.
And that brings the conversation to the table. Can you stop being a hoe? Do you grow old from being a hoe? Can you not be a hoe no more?
Yes.
In theory, yes.
Agreed. But
it's in you, not on you. So whenever you come around, we got to talk about it. No, I'm just playing. I'm gonna let y'all. No, I'm gonna let y'all go crazy because it's not. I don't really have much to say about this.
I want to hear your views as well about these ladies. I mean, do we live in a world now where sexual liberation is considered feminism?
It's powerful. It's power.
Or have we been
in some circles?
Okay, tell me more. Tell me more.
Like, it's a group of men. It's a population of men that look at that and they're like, that's their thing, right? So go get them. Like, they're here. And then there's some men that are like, I want something a little more from my man. Because both of them cost you the same. Let's just keep it a buck. Both type of women cost you the same. It's just about how you pay it out. So
I say I think it was a delusion. Okay. You cannot convince me. I know there are some women who are absolutely happy with being overly sexually like free, blah, 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 blah. But I don't want to miss the message of the women who have turned their trauma and their pain into success. And then the ones who pretended it was success. And now you're saying you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have did it in the first place.
And they're real for doubling back, because a lot of women won't.
Absolutely.
They won't tell you like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have got your second, third. Man, I got a homie who's on his second, third BBL. You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time, and I tell her, I told her before she got the first one, I was like
the fat.
You're gonna have to keep. Your body already looks good, and the little thing you're trying to tweak, you're gonna have to keep tweaking it.
You're gonna have to.
And so it's good. I like that women are like turning back and being like, "Hey, don't do what I did." Like that's awesome.
You can give that advice all day, every day, but these younger girls, I know for sure they're going to do what they want to do. Yeah, you can give the advice all day. So
hey, they want to get in the Drake party or the Chris Brown party, and they're willing to do all these things to get it, and then 10 years or so later, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
And it's not even what it's probably not even. It wasn't worth it. You have a time limit on that.
There we go. There we go.
You have a time limit.
My question was going to be like, what's the age where like maybe you should kind of start
we can't say
settling down a little bit?
We can't say age because look at Bernice Burgos. She's an old bitch. She beautiful, she bad, but she's old.
She's a granny.
She's an old woman.
Yeah, but you could be a granny at 29 now though. But so that's why I asked for an age thing, because
it's not an age.
You could be a granny at 20, 30. I think
they phased their coochie out. That's just what it is. You've bounced it, you popped it, you've done it all, and now it's boring. So now you have to find another way. And I'm not going to say for attention because it's not attention. It's like you have to find another way to brand yourself. Okay. And you've marketed to a certain group now, and now you're telling this group, I don't do that no more. It's not even worth it. So let me get this other group instead of wasting those years branding to a group that would have helped you climb that ladder. Yeah. So
and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm a male, I thought feminism was regardless of whatever you do sexually. You know, I thought feminism was just for like advocating women.
Absolutely.
But like I always think that there's a caveat to it, because I feel like feminism is some club that like women try to like make exclusive, and it's like, oh, we don't. So how do y'all feel about that? Like,
it can be who you're dealing with.
Okay,
agreed.
That's what it is.
Okay,
like you know, within every group there are extremists. There are some people that take it, you know, too far and want to exclude other people out of it. So I think it definitely depends on who you standing with.
For sure.
For me,
I think people hide behind the word feminism sometimes to prove a point instead of practicing that accountability. I think it can be a defense mechanism. I really do, because I'm just not convinced that everybody was comfortable like busting it wide open, especially when you look at stories like Alexis Sky, where she was like a sex slave or whatever, and you had to do what you had to do because that was survival. And you learned to profit off that survival. But at what point is that profit in your survival? Now we see it's no longer compatible. But what else can you don't walk into a restaurant and that bitch serving you food and you'll be like, damn, that big booty fine bitch. No, I think she's gonna have to find another way to market herself.
I also think that like a lot of girls, at least the ones that I've met, they go into that world with no real plan. Like they go into that world like, oh, I'm gonna make like 500 on the side every week or whatever their number is that makes it worth it. And then like 10 years goes by. And so like I think that's another thing that like you have to, you have to
lifestyle.
You have to have a plan, man, because some of the stories I hear from some of the stories I hear from homies, just like stuff that women are dealing with, I'm just like, man, like where's the plan at? Like,
there wasn't no plan. It was impulse.
Exactly.
It was fun. But I like the way you said that there should be a plan.
Yeah, like if you're gonna wild out, you know what I'm saying? If you're a young tender thing,
set yourself up.
Yeah,
live your life.
I'm trying to think like I can't remember what year, but I remember when Amber Rose came out with the Slut Walk. I was like, that is a perfect branding item because she knows what we think of her. And she's like, okay, well I'm gonna flip it and make like a couple 100,000 off of it.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, so if you have a plan, you can figure.
And now she's empowering other women to take that word back. What I don't want to see is in another 10 years, another Playboy stories and diaries. You made the decision to do what you do. And I understand that for some people, sometimes that can be a little uneasy, but people choose to stay. And when they choose to stay in that lifestyle, you get comfortable in that stuff because you're still expecting something out of it. But I'm with you. Where is the plan? Who wants to be licking on old balls and you don't got a plan?
My thing is, I shout out the women that like finesse, because like the same way I told y'all I got some homies that like I hear horror stories about. I see some homies and I'm like, damn, you are finessing the hell out of feminism. Like, salute to you, because that's what it should be for women to come up, like for women to be able to advance and, you know, change their life and stuff like that. And so I've heard both of it, and it was a topic that I was happy for y'all to bring in, man, because y'all have a fan base that's like secluded in this show, right? Like y'all have a sectioned off fan base of women that are just like crazy about y'all. When I tell our guests, they don't be like, oh yeah, like Junior. They be like, oh, like the girls are funny. And like, so I just want to I'm glad that y'all have topics that are just like I get to kind of chill on.
Nubianas.
Nubianas. Hey, Nubianas.
Y'all gotta come up with a little name. Y'all gotta come up with a little name.
We need to merge it together, and that's what we gonna call
Nubianas or something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but
that's cute.
Yes, but it